The night the boy ran into the biker garage, drenched in rain and trembling from head to toe, was the kind of moment that freezes even the toughest men. The sound of roaring engines fell silent, wrenches stilled, and every tattooed face turned toward the tiny figure in the doorway. His red hoodie clung to his small frame, his eyes swollen from crying, and in his shaking hands was a stack of wrinkled dollar bills. The boy wasn't more than 8, yet he looked like someone who had carried a lifetime of fear. And then, with a voice barely more than a whisper, he said the words that shocked everyone. "Please kill my stepdad. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us of the goodness still left in the world, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more inspiring stories." The boy's name was Tyler, and he had run nearly 2 miles through the darkness to reach the bikers he often saw rumbling down the street near the junkyard. He had always assumed they were dangerous, mean, and unapproachable. But he was desperate, and desperation makes even the scariest strangers seem like the only hope. Inside the garage, the bikers exchanged stunned glances, unsure whether the boy was joking, imagining things, or begging for help in the only way he knew. The one nearest to him, a large man with a gray beard and tired eyes named Mason, crouched down slowly so he wouldn't frighten the child. He noticed the red marks on Tyler's wrists, the bruise on his cheek, and the exhaustion in his posture. He didn't need explanations. Pain recognizes pain. Tyler began pouring out his story in bursts of sobs and shivering breaths. His stepdad had changed after losing his job months earlier. At first it was yelling, stomping, throwing things. Then the anger found a target, Tyler and his mom. The man who was supposed to be a protector had become a storm of violence that tested the walls of their small home every night. Tyler tried to shield his mother when he could, taking the blame, the yelling, the hits. He tried to be brave. But children shouldn't have to be brave like that. And when he overheard his stepdad threatening to finish things tonight, Tyler felt something in him break. He gathered every dollar he had saved from school lunches, coins from couch cushions, and birthday money from years past, and ran into the dark, thinking that maybe the scary men everyone avoided might be the only ones strong enough to stop the nightmare. As he spoke, the garage felt heavier, thicker, as if the walls themselves leaned in to listen. Mason's jaw tightened. The other bikers clenched their fists, not at the boy's plea for violence, but at the reality that a child believed killing was the only way out. No one should ever reach that point, especially not someone so young. Mason gently took the wad of crumpled bills from Tyler's hands and told him to breathe, to sit, to rest. He wrapped a blanket around the boy's shoulders and poured him warm tea from an old thermos. Tyler's small fingers wrapped around the cup, as though it were the first warmth he had felt in months. The bikers formed a quiet circle, speaking in hushed tones about what should be done. They were rough men, some with messy pasts, others with tattoos marking mistakes and memories they wished they could erase. But there was a rule they lived by now: protect the weak, no matter what. They didn't call themselves a gang anymore. They called themselves guardians of the forgotten. And Tyler, sitting alone on the couch with tear-stained cheeks, was a forgotten child who had finally been seen. Instead of violence, they chose something stronger: intervention. Mason brought Tyler home, not with fists raised, but with authority, compassion, and backup. When the stepdad opened the door, ready to yell, he froze at the sight of a wall of leather jackets and steel-eyed men behind the little boy. Mason stepped forward calmly, not to threaten, but to make it absolutely clear that Tyler would never suffer again. The man's arrogance evaporated, replaced by the sobering realization that his actions had consequences. Mason didn't lay a hand on him. He simply stood firm, explained that help was coming whether he wanted it or not, and called the authorities right in front of him. Tyler's mother broke down when she saw her son safe. She had felt trapped for so long, unseen and unheard, that the sudden presence of people willing to stand beside her felt like a lifeline. The police arrived, and for the first time in months the house felt peaceful. Tyler clung to Mason, burying his face into the biker's chest, letting the fear seep out as relief washed in. His mother held her son, promising again and again that things would change, that he would never have to be scared again. Over the next few weeks, the bikers visited often, fixing things around the house, helping his mother find steady work, making sure Tyler had new clothes, toys, and safety he could trust. Tyler began to smile again, an honest smile, not the forced one children use to hide pain. Mason became like a father figure, teaching him how to fix small engines, showing him kindness wrapped in strength. The bikers attended Tyler's school events, cheering louder than anyone. They weren't just men with motorcycles. They became the family Tyler always needed. And the most beautiful part, Tyler never needed to ask anyone to hurt anyone ever again. He learned that real strength isn't in violence, but in protection, support, and standing together against cruelty. He learned that even the roughest-looking people can carry the gentlest hearts. And he discovered that life always has room for second chances, even for broken families. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more emotional, life-changing stories to the world.